What's good, everyone? All right. So I have to do a PSA before I even start going into this video. Um, if you're a content creator and you watches of everybody else's content, and if you're making a specific video, let's not take shots at other content creators just to push your content. Now we all out here doing the same thing, trying to get above and beyond and have great content, have great followers. And a lot of our followers follow a lot of different people, just to get different various opinions or answers or whatever. But if you're making content on a specific subject, just do your content. You don't have to signal out other content creators just to push your content or whatever the case might be. Me personally, I think that's the number one rule. It's just like journalism 101. We all talk to everybody, we all collab with everybody, but taking shots at other content creators because you want to make sure that your content is correct, or you want to say, okay, what you telling is the truth, everybody else is telling absolutely false, false or giving false information. Whether it is true or not, that's how everybody has their own direction, how they do content creating. Me personally, I get along with everybody. I pretty much enjoys everybody content. I like collaborating with people from time to time, but near one time, I'm not going to come on my channel and just tear down other content creators just because I want to make what I'm saying factual or push my content out. I think that's kind of like classless. I think it's not right, and I think it's a better way to doing it. So I'm going to leave it right there and everything like that. But now on to my video.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media Update. All right, so today is the official kickoff of WNBA free agency, and there's a lot of different things that's circling around in the world of the WNBA. So one thing is for sure that we have had talks, we have had rumors, we have had articles. So particularly WNBA executive, who we feel like they just say things to push narratives out there. And, particularly they want to go out there and push, especially when it comes to the Indiana Fever. They definitely want to push their time out there. Now, we already know when the chorus season happened a few weeks ago, Satou Sabally was the main go-getter. Her name was out there. Then Unrivaled hits, then she struggled. Nobody didn't want to deal with her. Me personally, I would love to have Satou, but at this, if it's going to cost the Fever to give up a lot, nah. It's only a 1-year deal. Why would you give up a lot for a 1-year deal and knowing that you have to you could sign her next year? Now, there's been rumors that she wants to go to New York. There's been rumors. Now, the latest rumor is, quote unquote, it's not factual, saying that, Satou prefers not coming to Indiana. Now, this hasn't come out of Satou's mouth. This ain't came out of Satou's representative mouth or her agent's mouth. The last time we heard Satou say it was what? She's looking for the free agent. She's played her last game in Dallas. So people who write these articles for ESPN, we already know what their agenda is. But until we hear it from her or we hear it from the Fever organization, then we definitely are not going to sit here and go on hearsay, because that's what it is. An article is pretty much hearsay. Sometimes it's factual, sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, you can't just go on and say, well, hey, she said this. because she didn't say it. Just like everybody speculating that, Ellen Duncan came on her podcast and said that, oh, well, Brionna Jones will be a good fit for the Indiana Fever, which I will get into that in a few seconds, because I don't see Indiana Fever getting a Brionna Jones. For what reason? But like I say, so here's the article that came out today. It's in a sense, the Indiana Fever are league's most attractive free agent destination. They play in front of a packed crowd every night and feature the best young basketball player in the game, Caitlin Clark, and as well as Aaliyah Boston. However, that also means anyone who signs up to play in Indiana will play a relatively limited role, particularly if Kelsey Mitchell returns. Free agents are typically looking to be the third option at best. I'm going to stop right there for a minute. So Kelsey Mitchell was pretty much the third or second best option on the Fever last year. When Aaliyah Boston was struggling, Kelsey Mitchell stepped up her scoring. It don't matter what team you play for or whatever if you look at any basketball team, you're going to have to sacrifice something in your game in order to win. For instance, if Satou go to New York, you think she's going to have a large role with New York? She's going to have the same role. But I think her role in the Indiana will be a little bit bigger than it will be in New York. And you think New York is going to give up a slew full of people just to put her into place because she wants to play with Sabrina and her sister? No, New York is trying to repeat. So why would they mess up any chemistry that they may have, knowing that next year it could be a year they could bring in more different types of free agents, my bad. So this article really shows how unintelligent this writer is, because you think about it. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, and Alyssa Smith were the four top scorers on this team last year. Alyssa Smith didn't get a lot of touches, but she had some games that she scored a lot of points. There were several games last year that the Indiana Fever had all four of their players in double figures. Or they all scored in double figures. So why would an article comes out like this and circulate around just to stir up controversy and say, oh, well, this is what it is? Let me continue. So they also isn't a perfect fit for what the Fever require in this free agency class, unless there is a trade for Satou. She could toggle between playing the 3, the 4, providing the necessary defense and spacing around Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston. It's risky to trade for Satou for one reason, and talks around the league is that Indiana is not one of Satou's preferred markets. If I were in the Fever front office, I would offer Lexi Hall and Alyssa Smith and a pick for Satou. Now, first of all, I wouldn't even offer, if you offer Alyssa Smith and Grace Berger or Christy Wallace, okay, yeah. The Indiana Fever front office is not going to offer Lexi Hall and no deal for nobody. So, first of all, Satou is only going, you trade Satou away, you sign her to a max deal. She decides to opt out next year, because then you can't call her. You can't call her. If you call Kelsey Mitchell and you try to keep Kelsey Mitchell again next year, you call her, then you're going to lose a player. Then you got to figure out who's more important. See, the benefit of the situation is that Satou will be better for the Fever to look at next year than this year. Trading draft picks, it makes it so redundant, makes it idiotic to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense. You know, you're trading draft capital when there's decent draft pieces that coming out of the draft this year. Just trade away just to get a 1-year deal with a player that, you know, could get potentially get injured. Then you like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? There we went through this season because you gotta think about it. We let Celeste Taylor walk when we could have kept Celeste Taylor. She could have been beneficial for us in the playoffs. Then you don't play Victoria Saxon. Nobody, we still don't know what Victoria Saxon brings to the table. You know, she's still on a rookie contract. Grace Berger, we still haven't seen what she could bring. So why would you risk all of that in year one when you could? There are free agents that you could implement around. Don't you know the Chicago Bulls won 6 titles just by having a dominant scorer, a second scorer, and a three point shooters, and a big that could get you a few points here and there? The San Antonio Spurs did it. They didn't have a lot of scoring. Mono Ginobili was the third option. Tony Parker was the first, and Tim Duncan. Then later, Kawhi Leonard came along. The Golden State Warriors, same thing. It was Clay and Steph. Then you had Harrison Barnes at one point. Then you got Andrew Wiggins at one point. So if you talk about winning championships, then if you want to win a championship, then you would say, hey, I will go there because I want to win. I see what they're trying to do. But if you think about, oh, wow, I want to be the number one option of any team I go to, then your mentality is going to be just that. And then guess what? Nobody's going to want to deal with you. In the case of Trinity Carter, she wants to be the number one option. No team, the only way she could be a number one option, she goes to somewhere like the back leagues, or she stays overseas for another year and then come to Toronto. And I forgot the other team that's coming next year. And they pick her up and she be the number one option, scoring option on that team. Any team she comes to, she's not going to be the top scorer. She's going to play a role. She's not going. If she goes on New York, she's not going to get outshoot. She's not going to get more touches than Brianna Stewart or Sabrina Ionescu. She comes to Indiana, she's not going to get more touches than Aaliyah Boston, and definitely not Caitlin Clark. Now she could go to Seattle, she probably will. And she go to Atlanta, she probably will. But in Satou case, Satou could fit anywhere. I don't think Satou wants to be a number one option. I don't think she looks at herself a number one option. I think her skill set fits just what the Fever want, a 3-and-D type of player that can move without the basketball, shoot threes, play defense, play inside and out. You know what I'm saying? But I caution the Fever organization to not risk draft picks for her. Now, if you trade players for her and a pick for next year, then that's cool. But if you're going to get Satou to commit beyond this year, then it's worth taking that trade. But if she's not going to commit, knowing that the CBA kicks in next year, then what's the purpose? Don't make sense at all. So I had a replacement for the Satou Sabally situation. And courtesy of Mick Talks Hoops, shout out to you because he's been talking about it just as well as I've been talking about it. It's Janelle Solange. She's every bit of skill as Satou. Plays better shooter. To me, I think she's better shooter. She's very crafty. She could play defense. She could get to the rim. She could pass. She does everything Satou does. And you don't have to trade for her. You could just sign her to a max deal. You could bring her over for a max deal. You know what I'm saying? It's been simple. You bring her over, sign her. I would try to lock her in for next year and then say, hey, we'll pay you. You sign on for 2 years. Then when the CBA kick in, we can re-extend you and raise your salary. Easy. But she's the perfect ideal fit because you don't have to give up draft picks. You can bolster your roster by getting draft picks in this year's draft, number 8 and number 20 in the third round. And then you could look to bring somebody like a Maddie from Notre Dame, or Sonia Citron, if she's available. Or you could look at Tina Popow, or you could look at Aja Savik. She's another one that has the same skill set. If you go back and listen to what Kelly and Amber and Stephanie White say, they want large, rangy players, 3-and-D type players. They didn't say nothing about fat, slow, can't move up and down the floor players. Now, as I'm saying this, that brings into my next topic, Brionna Jones. There's a lot of talk about Brionna Jones coming to the Indiana Fever, and for the life of me, I don't understand why people really so fixated on this Brionna Jones thing. Have you seen Brionna Jones? A person that just got back off a Achilles injury, barely could run up the floor, and you think Brionna Jones literally is going to fit our system for what we do? She's another big. Why would we need another big? Answer this question. Hold on for a second. Hello? Hey, Kelly. Hey, Amber. Yeah, this is Martin. All right, yeah, I'll get back with you. All right, no problem. Well, I'll cover it. I'll make sure. Thank you. So I just got off the phone with Kelly and Amber a few minutes ago. They just told me, hell to the no, to Brionna Jones. Hell no. Because the thing about it is, Brionna Jones do not fit the system that the Indiana Fever is trying to run. So people sit here saying, oh, Brionna Jones. Ellen Duncan on her podcast a week ago put that out there, and everybody stopped running with it, that Brionna Jones is going to be there. Why? What makes you in God green earth think that Brionna Jones will fit in this system? Because I don't. Me personally, she's the same as Leo Boston and Damiris Dantes. If you already got Damiris Dantes and Leo Boston, why would you need a Brionna Jones? Brionna Jones she's good for the interior if you're running a half-court set offense. She doesn't run up the floor. You see that she doesn't play a lot of minutes. Yeah, she has had some inside scoring games last year and rebounding, but are you going to really rely on her if she gets in foul trouble and she can't run up the court? Especially if the pace that Caitlin wants to run, or are they trying to run with Caitlin in them? No, you can't. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense at all, just to be honest with you. Because the thing about it is, Brionna Jones is slow. If Brionna Jones was younger and a little lighter, it makes sense. I do believe that the Connecticut Sun is going to bring all of their players back. They just core Melissa Smith. They're going to give a qualified. They most likely give a qualified offer to Brionna Jones, DeWanna Bonner, bring her back because they want to stay together. Brionna Jones most likely come back for, because there ain't gonna be no market for her. I mean, really, it's not no market for her unless she go to the Valkyries. But the Valkyries wants to play fast too. So that's not going to be a good fit for her. Seattle wants to play fast. That's not going to be a fit for her. So LA wants to play fast. That's not a fit for her. So you got to think about it. That slow-paced big man, if you can't run up and down the floor consistently, you're not going to serve a purpose as just only a backup just to come in at certain times. So all of this Brionna Jones talk, it just need to cease. I have been saying this before, and I keep saying it again. Relax. Because the fact of the matter is, the Fever knows what they want. Now, topic number 3. So I follow this person named Millie. She goes by at Dream Disc on X, and she put out earlier there's an unpacific rumor out there that Kelsey Mitchell Kelsey Mitchell could be traded to the Valkyries for picks. So, all right, let me work with you on this one. Um, could that be true? No. Could that be something that could be explored? Because she is core. And if the Valkyries wants a dynamic scorer like Kelsey Mitchell, now for instance, if Kelsey Mitchell wants her, she wants to be the person, and she doesn't want to play behind Caitlin Clark, that's fine. That's fine and good. But if she wants to be a part of it, then bring her back in. Like Kelly Doom has said, their main part is to bring her back. Now, could there have been talks about um, teams inquiring about trading for Kelsey? I'm sure there has been. You're going to get talks all the time behind the scene, but that doesn't mean Kelsey Mitchell will be traded. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's rumors. And me personally, I'm not going to sit out there and put rumors, put facts to rumors and say, oh, well, they're looking to trade Kelsey Mitchell to the Valkyries for picks. I'm not going to say that. I just not. It's a rumor. It's a rumor. And like I say, could there have been talks behind the scene? Yeah, most likely there has been talks behind the scene. Everybody's going to have talks behind the scene about trying to trade for players that they court. That's just the name of the business. It happens in football, it happens in basketball, it happens in baseball. That doesn't mean that the person is going to get traded. Now, what will the Valkyries willing to give up for Kelsey? Well, they could probably give up this year's a pick this year and probably a pick next year if they want Kelsey Mitchell. That's the only way I see them getting Kelsey Mitchell, to giving up a pick this year and a pick next year. But like I said, you're gonna have Kelsey, then you have to call Kelsey. Because then the thing about it is, the Valkyries, once they trade for her, Kelsey is not. She won't be cored. Now the Valkyries will have money to sign her to any deal they want to, regardless of what the CBA. The CBA will be kicking in next year. But if they sign her to a 1 year deal, then that's different. But if she doesn't sign her to a 1 year deal and they work out something where they could sign her to a longer term deal, then that's up to the Valkyries. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's another rumor and everything that has coming out. Now, back to this article, where it was stated that, a ESPN expert said that all of this stuff about the Indiana fever and Satou not coming to the fever. And these are the people right here. Now, these three faces, the one on the far left, but my right, she was the one that came out and said that Paige was going back to college. That Paige was going back to college. So these are the same people that has written this article. The same person that written this article. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they also say. If Indiana can't get Satou, then Umake, Brionna Jones, Natasha Howard, all of these are less than ideal fits. Umake is an excellent defender, but she has played at a more methodical pace for most of her career. Jones and Boston are somewhat duplicative, and Howard's shooting has been theoretical since she left Seattle. The Fever have enough money to give out a 1 year minimum. One of the maximum contract, but the bet is that their targets. The best bet is that their targets will go elsewhere. And this is what Mr. Murdoch had put. He said 7 predictions according to the Athletic of WNBA. Satou will end up in New York. Emma McPherson will sign with Phoenix. Jewel Laurie and Kelsey Plum swap places. Indiana will strike out on free agency. Washington will, they say, show more, whatever. So And Mick, shout out to Mick again. And shout out to Mick and Ben Daniels, because I got that off of Ben Daniels' page video. It said, Mick said, striking out is not improving, LOL. Not picking up a big free agent who doesn't fit is striking out. Exactly. Because if you think about it, there's many times in the NFL that you have picked up players that doesn't fit your scheme and you struck out because you had to settle for somebody else without getting the person that you truly wanted in that sense. The writer doesn't realize picking up a Janelle Solange in it type player is indefinitely more valuable than someone like a Natasha Howard. And that is true. Because Natasha Howard, I said this, if Natasha Howard had value to her, if the Natasha Howard had value to her, guess what? The Dallas Wings would keep her. But she doesn't have value no more. She's not the same person. Yes, she's playing overseas. Like I said, a Janelle Solange will fit perfectly than a Natasha Howard. And she will be the Satou, the younger version of Satou. I think Janelle is like 24, something like that. And she has the same skill set. So you bring her over, that's not striking out because then you're keeping your roster young. Now they could bring in somebody like a Tina Thompson as a backup that could run the floor a little bit better and play different positions. You know what I'm saying? You could have Natasha, I mean, you could probably have Tina Thompson playing the center position, you know, coming off the bench, and then have Aaliyah if she want to keep on the floor, have her out on the wing, you know, pick and roll action or whatever the case may be. You know, but I'm saying you still got other players. You still got an Aerial Powers out there. You still got a Kia Nurse out there. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your draft picks, and then you got Janelle Solange out there. You could get these as players that fits the system that you want to get. True shooting, defense, and a lot of spacing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you could get, I think Umake is going to stay with Seattle. She has a great bond there with the coach. So I don't think she's going anywhere. Natasha Howard, she could only come off the bench because you're not going to pay her to be a starter. You know, I will, because if you bring in Janelle Solange, I will make her the starter alongside Caitlin and them. And then I will bring Natasha Howard off the bench for defensive purposes, you know, and a little bit of scoring off the bench. And then whoever you else get. But nonetheless, man, I just think, you know, with free agent start, I think so many people just have so much rumors going around to it just emphasize that players could come and players may not come. That's just the topic of it. So my thing is this here, at the end of the day, you know, if Satou comes, she come. If she don't, she don't. At the end of the day, there's other pieces out there to get, and you have to hit. And I'm sure that the Fever organization is looking at all of this. They're not just jumping to anything, and they got to understand with the new CBA, they only know that if they trade for somebody, they're gonna lose draft picks, and they might lose that player next year. So, and if you keep and me personally, if Kelsey decides to leave, she's not going to get paid what she getting paid here. Because if she goes there, I think the Valkyries can't core her. They can't core her, you know, for that team. But she'll lose the core tag from us in a trade. But they still can core her and keep her in place. So whatever. All right. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this free agency circle and all of these rumors. Not facts, but rumors about Satou saying she don't want to come to Indiana, and the rumor about Brionna Jones, which I don't think the Fever is going to get a Brionna Jones. I don't see it happening. I don't see the fit in it. But let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Until the next episode, it's your boy, Live Wire Sports Media, in or out.
Ayy, so amazing. You see how they playing. Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.